Hey guys, Lovely Muse here, and welcome to chapter 6 of my unpopular K-pop opinions video. It's been exactly 5 months since my last chapter, but that's only because I have been quite busy with school and work. Plus, after the reaction I got from my last opinions chapter, I thought it would be best to take a break from sharing my opinions for the time being. However, I am back with the next chapter, but before we begin, I just want to say a quick thank you for 400 subscribers. I really do appreciate the continued support I have been getting from you guys, and I promise to continue producing the type of videos that you guys love. Also, just a quick side note. I will only be sharing 3 opinions, and that is because the opinions I am about to share are going to be pretty long, and possibly controversial. Anyways, without further ado, let's get straight into it. NCT Hollywood can either make or break SM Entertainment. By now, we should already know that SM Entertainment has always been interested in breaking into the American music market, even before HYBE was even planning to do it with BTS. But their plans always fell short. With the introduction of NCT, multiple units, and the never-ending members' inclusion, it seems that SM finally saw a way to finally break in. But rather than producing an NCT unit to do that, they decided to produce a hybrid unit that included members from each of their existing groups. Honestly speaking, I am still salty they didn't add a female member or Johnny to the unit. Despite the decent success that Super M was, SM is still having trouble actually breaking into the American music industry. Hence why they want to create NCT Hollywood. To me, I believe their first mistake was producing a so-called supergroup right after BTS already made it big in the US. By now SM Entertainment should already know that the American audience can't consume more than one boy group at the same time. To them, there can only be one well-known and popular group. And unfortunately for them, HYBE already beat them to it. This reminds me of the time GOT7 was being interviewed in America, and the reporter interviewing them had the audacity to try and make it seem like GOT7 was trying to compete with BTS's fame and make it sound like it was a competition. But GOT7 quickly shut that down. They even tried to do the same thing with Monsta X too. Just like the American media can't comprehend there being more than 5 or 7 members in a group, they can't imagine supporting or hyping up more than one group. It's one of the reasons why Fifth Harmony and Little Mix were always pitted against each other, despite both groups catering to 2 different audiences. But because they both speak English and were both created from the same show by Simon Cowell, they couldn't help but continuously compare the 2. I am saying this because this will most likely be the case with NCT Hollywood. SM Entertainment better be prepared to have NCT Hollywood be continuously compared to BTS or all the other American boy groups, such as Pretty Much. Another thing that I have a problem with is the members. Whom are the members going to be, and it better not be Mark. If they created a Canadian NCT unit, then I would understand Mark's inclusion and would be in full support of it, as a Canadian myself. But I really hope SM won't add Mark in any new units. The guy really needs a break. Not to mention, the other members need the spotlight as well. Also, is the group going to be diverse, and I don't mean diverse nationally, but in skin tone and ethnicity. In fact, I am not expecting the group to be diverse in nationality, because if the group is American-based, then their nationality should already be American. However, there should be at least a Black American, a White American, an Asian American, and more. I better not see all white dudes, or all Asians, as from my understanding the group is supposed to reflect the area in which they're marketing towards. Just like how Wavy is all Chinese, or mostly Chinese. Or if there were to be a Japanese group, I would expect mostly Japanese members, including Yuta and Shotaro, and maybe 1 or 2 Koreans that are actually fluent in Japanese. Because that is literally my biggest issue with SM Entertainment. They say they will do this and promise this, but end up doing the complete opposite, or falling short of it. When they said they were producing their own version of the Avengers, a K-pop Avengers group, I was honestly expecting a replica. Meaning, at the very least one female artist would be included in that group. When they said the group would be focusing on the American market, I was expecting them to at least add their only American artist to that group, Johnny. Because, as we know by now, people are more likely to tune into something if they can relate to it in some way. And having a group with mostly Korean members, that can barely speak English, isn't going to work well, especially in a country like America. Home to a lot of racists that can't seem to accept any other language, other than English being spoken in that country. The only reason why BTS worked was because it was unexpected. Their first ever appearance at an American award show was unexpected for the general American public, not to mention new and different. And so, it is only natural that any other Korean group after BTS will be seen as the second BTS, hence the continued comparison to them. Plus, it's a well-known fact that Americans love drama, like real-life drama, not K-dramas. Hence why reality shows and gossip channels are so big. Okay, so I ordered the BTS McDonald's meal yesterday, and to put it simply, I was disappointed but not surprised. I wasn't surprised, because as someone with brain cells, I knew that there wasn't going to be anything spectacular or unique. Like I wasn't expecting a new kind of burger or chicken nuggets or a new kind of drink. I just thought that McDonald's was using BTS to help promote their 2 new sauces and that they were changing the color of their packaging to help represent BTS. When I finally did order it though, I wasn't even thinking of BTS at the time, and I had even forgotten about their collaboration. But that is only because I usually always order chicken nuggets from McDonald's anyways. I got both the sauces, along with the 10-piece chicken nuggets, a double cheeseburger with a side of Big Mac sauce, and a medium strawberry Fruitopia. The only thing that was different in terms of packaging, was the color of the bag that my order came in, the cup color, the package that the nuggets came in, and the color of the sauce packets. They were all purple. Which honestly, I actually really liked them. Because for one, it looked different from what I am used to, 2, it was pretty, and 3, my favorite color is purple. When I finally did try the 2 sauces with my chicken nuggets, that's when disappointment struck. I thought those sauces were supposed to be new, a sauce that hasn't been thought of or tried before. I don't know, I guess I had some sort of expectation. But instead, both sauces tasted so familiar. Like they tasted exactly like the type of sauces that Popeyes would sell. I don't know, maybe I was overthinking it. But all I could think about while trying them, was how well they would have gone with Popeyes fries and chicken, and then it clicked. I am not mad at it, it's just not something that gets me wanting more. Also, a lot of people were also expecting photo cards, but if anyone actually saw their commercial, they would know that they never said or implied that they were including photo cards, so I honestly don't know why a lot of people are disappointed by that. I think, my only issue with this, other than the sauces, is that they keep calling it the BTS meal, which to me, seems kind of misleading. Like they could have just easily called it the BTS sauces since those are the only new things that they are introducing. They are acting as no one has ever bought a drink, a side of fries, and 10-piece chicken nuggets before, and they think adding 2 new sauces automatically makes it a new meal. So yeah, them calling it the BTS meal instead of the BTS sauces, is misleading to me. But all in all, it was okay. Now, this opinion is going to be pretty long and controversial, so please prepare yourself, especially if you are a stay. Before I get into it, I just want to make clear that I am a stay, and I have been a huge fan of Stray Kids since their survival show. However, me being a multi-fan and having my own life, I obviously can't keep track of them every single time. But I do always make sure to show support whenever something big happens, whether it's a new comeback, a new show, or any controversies. Now, I say stays are the equivalent to armies because to me, they are easily the most toxic 4th generation fandom. There is no argument to this, you are not changing my mind. Part of the reason why I say this has to do with them being also the largest 4th generation fandom, especially internationally. However, another part of it has to do with solo stans, and the double standards that stays seem to have a habit of. When it comes to solo stans, though within the fandom each member is clearly loved and adored, though I can't say the same for Woojin. However, we can't deny the fact that there is a large percent of solo stans within this fandom, and those types of fans are distributed amongst Hyunjin, Felix, and Bang-chan, especially Hyunjin. To give you a perspective of what I mean. The way I see it, Hyunjin, Felix, and Bang-chan reflect the maknae line of BTS, where Hyunjin is Jungkook, Felix as V, and Bang-chan as Jimin. I say this because Hyunjin without a doubt has the most solo stans, and just like the fans of Jungkook, they come off very freaking possessive, and they also sexualize the hell out of him. As for Felix, despite his fans coming off pretty quiet, his fans, just like V's fans, are possessive as well, however, not to the extent as Hyunjin's. They also tend to baby the fuck out of him despite him being a grown-ass man. Not to mention, whenever Felix isn't his typical hyper or goofy self, like V, they automatically assume this man is suffering from depression. On the topic of mental illness, can the K-pop fandom please stop diagnosing idols as if they know them personally? Unless you have a master's, or a doctoral in psychology, I need you all to really stop diagnosing these idols. If it does turn out that they do indeed have depression, or some other mental illness, then let them be the one to speak out about it, not you. I swear, people automatically assume someone having a bad day, or is sad for a certain time frame, is automatically depressed. Now, as for Bang Chan being a reflection of Jimin, I can confidently say that Bang Chan's solo stans are his worst enemies, and will be, if this man ever does something remotely considered disappointing to them. Plus, just like Jimin, this man can't seem to catch a break. He is by far the member who gets the most hate by other Stray Kids solo fans and stays in general, and this is excluding Woojin. And just like Jimin, they view this man as like a god, who can't do anything wrong, and if he does, he is all of a sudden the devil. I mean, his own fans caused him to have a nosebleed. I am not excusing what Bang Chan has done in the past, because as a black person, I can't stress enough how annoying it is when idols use cornrows in order to appear more urban and hip whenever they perform hip-hop or rap-based songs. Like once again, our hairstyles aren't costumes. Plus, seeing as he is someone who is Australian, you kind of automatically expect better from him. Also, since we are on the topic of Bang Chan, a lot of people have said this before, and I sort of low-key agree, to a certain extent. The way in which Chan communicates with his fans on his live streams is getting borderline questionable, and that's me putting it nicely. Especially when it is clear that a lot of Stray Kids fans, and honestly K-pop fans in general, are pretty young. I understand that the type of relationship that Bang Chan wants with Stays is like a friend-like relationship. Because that is what 17 does too. But the difference with 17 is that despite them wanting a friend-like relationship with Carrots, they also make sure to also draw a line, a clear line for us to not cross. Because they know that they also have young fans, as well as crazy ones too. All I am going to say is that if Bang Chan continues to provide Stays leeway and allow them to go beyond what is expected of them, he is going to end up going through the same situation Jungkook is going through with his fans. And if you guys want to know what I mean by that, I have included a link to a video that I just watched recently, by the YouTuber called Yoongi Sad Boy, that I really think K-pop fans, especially ARMYs, should watch. Also, when Stray Kids first debuted, and Hyunjin was getting accused of being a bully, Stays were up in arms fully on defending Hyunjin. When Chan was being accused of cultural appropriation, and rightfully so, Stays were up in arms fully defending him. But when it came time for Woojin, everyone went brain dead, and suddenly lost their will to fight for him, and instead, fight against him. I mean, when Hanbin and Wonho's controversies came up, their fandom stood by them till the very end. And when everything was cleared up, even when they were no longer part of the group, their fandom still supported them, and still do to this day. But where are Stays? The amount of recent Stray Kids fan videos that I have seen on YouTube, with Woojin's face being blurred or cut out, says a lot. And despite the accusations being cleared and proven false, people are still trying to get this man cancelled. All I am saying is that Stays are giving off very much ARMY vibes. And this is by no means hate towards ARMYs. But as they say, the larger the fandom, the more toxicity. Anyways, that's it for this chapter of Unpopular K-pop Opinions. See you next time.